right. What's up, Nick?
Dustin? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, and man, I'm glad it's Friday. It's
Yeah, glad to be back. I know we missed a couple weeks, right?
I know we did.
Yeah,
It always feels funky when we're not
I know. It
here
just
on
throws
Fridays.
off the rhythm of the whole week, man. I'm telling
It
you. I
does.
love
It does.
being here.
However, we've had an excellent week here at the shop in Easy Inn, man. It feels good to be back in rhythm.
Yeah.
And just things seem to. I'll probably regret saying this, and I'm sure the wheels will come off Monday.
Don't go jinx it now.
Yeah,
You gotta be careful.
I mean, it's Friday. What's the worst that could happen? I just totally jinxed myself, by the way. Complete X. Yeah.
You'll have a fire to put out right after the show.
Oh man, but yeah, it's been a great week, man. I'm excited to be back on the show with you. You know, we got a good show coming up today.
Yeah, we got some
and it just feels good. Feels good to be back in the seat.
What anything else new you got going on what did you guys have the last couple of weeks? Anything fun and exciting?
Yeah. So Easy Inn, I own a retail store. We went down to the Dolphin Island Fishing Rodeo and we set up our entire. We take 6,000 square feet of retail. Like that's how much square foot we have here in our building, and we condensed that down to 1,700 square feet.
Yeah.
At the rodeo, and it's in a tent. And I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with the heat in Mobile, Alabama.
The whole country's on fire. Everything's hot.
We were literally sitting on the sun's surface down there, and we're in a tent and we're selling stuff. It's Thursday. We set up Wednesday, but it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we take it down Monday. And dude, it was so hot. But we sold a crap ton of inventory. But man, it was hot.
You see, what did we do? We had a car show, a little Corvette car show we went to, which was really cool up in Wisconsin.
Heck yeah.
And we went to the Bears training camp as well. You gotta support the local teams. They take good care of us. We gotta take care of them.
Love that, man.
But just a couple fun things. That's just a couple fun things this week.
Yeah, you got to remember to mix that in. We talk about work a lot. We talk about business, and you got to remember to mix in the fun. I'm actually taking my boat out tomorrow. I'm going for a bike ride in the morning, 45 miles, I believe. I got on deck.
Man.
But after that,
I don't even like driving 45 miles.
Well, me either. That's how I liked it. So anyway, we're going to take the boat out tomorrow and enjoy it and cruise. So it's not all work. There's a little play there.
There's got to be a little play mixed in.
You got to. But anyways, we have a big show on deck today. I think it's going to be a good topic.
What are we talking about today?
We are going to be talking about trends, trends in the detailing industry, and some of them may seem like it's not a trend. Maybe seems like, hey, this is here to stay.
Yeah.
Some of the things we talk about are on their way out or have already left us, and then some are true trends. Like who knows if it'll stay or go. And so I feel like talking about these things kind of makes you think, right? It makes you think about what is traditional detailing, and then what are trends that kind of come in and out of the normal service of detailing. And so that kind of, I feel like it was a good topic, right?
I like it. I think we got a couple of good points we're going to jump through, and then give a little background of how we're sort of navigating them, give people some good feedback.
Yeah.
What do you got? What's that first trend that you're thinking about?
That's just trend
on your mind 24/7.
Oh man! All right, the first trend I'm going to say is not on my mind 24/7. All right, so the first trend I want to talk about, and I think that a lot of people have already migrated to, or at least included it in, and that's TikTok and short form video. So like Reels, or I don't know what Instagram calls them. Chris, what's Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram. I think Instagram Reels, right?
Reels. Okay, so what's Facebook? Reels, okay, they're the same. All right, shorts. and then TikTok, so shorts, something. Yeah. And then you got YouTube, right? So, but anyways, it's these short form videos, right? Quick in and out, 10, 15 seconds, whatever. Yep. This is definitely so it's a trend in that it's happening now more than it ever has, right? I think that's how we can define the trend. But are you jumping on board with this trend, Nick, in your business? Are you using that short form?
I think it's extremely valuable. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest and just say I'm not using it to its full capacity 100%. Right. You know what I mean? I think the hardest thing in today's world is quality content creation.
Yep.
And trying to put that process behind, hey, if you want to go make these short videos, you just putting that time and that effort. I'm a little bit of that perfectionist OCD of trying to put stuff out there. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I'm disappointed in myself, but I'd rather just let people know, hey, look, this is absolutely very important for any business, but I'm not doing it and I'm falling short there.
Listen, hey, I think we can say the same thing. So we we are very good at producing long form videos, 2-3 minutes. You get to say everything you want to say. You get creative. You get to really think about it.
Yeah.
When you talk about trying to condense it down to 10 or 15 seconds, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
But that's about the attention span you're getting.
Yeah. People are scrolling through and they're seeing something and they either like it, they don't, they're engaging or they're not, and they're on to the next thing.
That's right. But one thing I heard the other day, and I think that it's hard for me to adapt this, but I'm going to say it anyway, but it's progress over perfection. So just doing something and get it going and then perfect it as you go. It's really hard for me to buy into that, by the way. I really, especially if I have a very defined vision for something, I want to see it that way. And I'll drive Chris crazy with it. I know I do. But you know, we work hard on that. So these short form videos, and the reason they're so popular is because the attention span's dialed down, right? You're not getting that. So you've got to condense whatever it is you're trying to say in this shorter video, but it's highly engaging. It's highly productive as far as attention grabbing. So I think this trend is probably here to stay. I think that the shorter video, the shorter content is here to stay for at least, you know, the next year or two, I would assume.
I think it's just going to be a really cool sort of layering of, you've got short term, you've got long term, you've got pictures, and you've got written word. You know what I mean? As much as everybody wants to, you know, not do a blog or not do, you know what I mean, do some of these other things that might not be as popular now. I do think having that overall marketing style or marketing process is really important going forward of, hey, now you've got these short-term videos that have to get sort of, you know, combined. And then it's your choice of, hey, are you taking a 10-minute video of how to wash a car and chopping it up and grabbing 10, 15, 20 pieces of content out of it? Or are you specifically making a totally different piece of content? Because the market's going to sort of gravitate and know, hey, wait, that's just the same piece of content regurgitated. And I think a lot of people are doing that. Are you going and making it its own? Or you know what I mean? It just takes a little bit of thought.
You know what I think it is? I think that you use the short form as the attention getter to get them in the door to where they can see if they're interested in what you're saying or not, and what you had. So then you can attract them into the longer video, attract them into the blog where they're giving you some time, but you grab them with that first 5 or 10 seconds worth of short. And then you bring them into your more, you know, the more in-depth marketing and the content, whether it be blogs or you know, ad copy or long video, whatnot. But it's something that's got to be done. You know, it's something that go ahead.
Yeah, and you got to remember it with the smaller shops. If you're 1-2 people, you're making that video, you're chopping it up, you're editing it, you're posting it, right? You're then going and deciding, hey, am I throwing dollars behind? Do I want to show this to an audience that's outside my audience? You got a lot of layers there to digest, and it takes a lot of thought and effort.
It's a job, and enough can't be said about that. You know, these guys that are, you know, like we all started or I started just myself, and you wear those hats, right? You wear the marketing hat, you wear the accounts payable, the accounts receivable, the
QC. The accounts receivable is always better than the accounts payable.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll trade AP any day of the week. Anyways, but you know, so I've said this before, and I'll go ahead and say this again. Most of us have a cousin, a friend, someone that's younger that enjoys doing this stuff, that you can, a daughter, a son, somebody that's into this stuff already that can help you and not cost you a fortune. So don't be scared to look around at your surroundings and think about who may just want to do TikToks because they enjoy doing TikToks, and you don't have to necessarily pay them to do these things and help you. So as an entrepreneur, your job is to be creative in these things, is to look around look at your surroundings and see what you can use that you don't necessarily have to pay top dollar for.
Yeah. Hey, Parker, Cece, those are my 2 kids there. You know, if you're listening, they're 5 and 2. That means I'm going to need you guys here in a minute. So
well, Demi's 4, but she is on TikTok already. I've seen a couple of her videos that her mom's doing. I don't know if I approve of it yet, but anyways, when she's 10, she's going to have
a star. Star's born. You know, she's going to be a star there.
Man, she got a double dose of that, sir.
Yeah. So I have a weird, not a weird trend. I got a trend that I think is really interesting going forward, and that's going to be how these young detailers are starting out.
Okay.
Right. What are they calling home base? And instead of an actual 4 walls and a garage door, it's 4 wheels and a door.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And a lot of people starting off mobile versus shop. And I think that's a trend that's going to be growing exponentially going forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd love your thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, my first thought is no overhead or minimal overhead. Most of us can use a vehicle that we probably already have.
Yep.
Or a cheap vehicle, right? And so you're talking about the cost is your chemicals, your tools, and some insurance, business license. But you don't have rent. You don't have building insurance. You don't have general liability. You don't have power bill, water bill. You know, all these things that you acquire when you go rent a building or buy a building or build a building, right? You just get in the car and go. And convenience plays a factor. So if you are starting out, right, and I have no customers, is it easier for me to say, hey, customer, I'll come to you, or stop what you're doing and come to me?
Hey, drop off your car. Let me inconvenience you for 6 hours.
For the day. Right? And so it's a trend in that we see it a lot. And I think the reason it's a trend is because we see more people coming to detailing, not just because mobile detailing seems. I think the trend is more people are coming to detailing, therefore they organically start in the mobile realm.
Yep. And I think it's interesting because no matter what, every year there's new people turning 18, 20, 22.
Absolutely.
But no matter what, every year there's going to be new people into the, in the detailing environment. There's new people in our community, which is exciting and great. And just trying to let them know, hey, look, there's these other avenues that can save you a little money, start mobile depending on where you live, or maybe there is an advantage of going shop in your area. But I just see the trend of a lot more people going mobile to start at least.
And then you could probably see the trend of mobile detailers going to shop. So, but definitely a trend. And I think the organic reason is for the cost of entry, the low cost of entry into the business, and rightfully so. I think there's a great market for it. I think that, there's plenty of market share to go around for these new detailers coming in as mobile, but it's absolutely trending up. We absolutely see more and more mobile detailers popping up in my local area. There's probably 5 or 6 mobile detailers that have come up in the last 3 years. And I talked to them. I mean, a few of them came to our training the other day. And speaking of that, maybe we should talk about that as a trend.
Is that a trend there? Trend alert. What do we got?
Trend alert. So my opinion, okay. And I say this because 10 years ago when I got into the business, there was only a couple resources that you could go to learn how to detail.
Yeah.
Well, now there's a couple a day probably across the U.S. where you could go to learn how to detail. Yeah. So the trend is trainings. And I think more than that, the trend is detailer held trainings. So we got detailers in their shops. We just had one the other day with IGO.
Yeah.
Went great, by the way. And by the way, I think these are a good thing. I think that they need to be vetted out. I think you need to look at people, that are truly doing a training and not a product push. But the trainings themselves, I think, is trending. I think there's a trend there, and I think it's growing, and I think it's here to stay. I think you may see some of the ones that you may see some fall off, but I think the ones that are high quality that you really gain value from, I think they're here to stay.
And I think that comes to the detailer saying, hey, I want to invest in myself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I want to get better. They know it's a competitive market. You want to be the best in your area. What can I do to get a step up? Okay, I'm going to go to training and get a different perspective, and really looking inside and saying, hey, look, I'm going to spend money, get better, and that's going to grow my business long term.
And networking too. So along with this learning is networking. And so when you go to these training events, I mean, I travel around and go to a lot of them. The networking that happens when you can meet other people that are going through the same struggles that you are going through and have a phone number, say, hey man, can I text you or call you? Like having that resource available is money. So like, I think that's a portion of it.
So the one this is a trend going down.
Okay, right? What you got?
And people are going to be like, Nick, you're out of your mind. But you know what?
Oh, we think that all the time, Nick.
Yeah, I know. I think paint correction is dying. I think
Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so.
I think the total paint correction and the wet sanding and the business model of the detailer is dying.
You just shut down the internet, Nick.
I think everybody's going to be upset with me.
But seriously, no, I think so. Tell me why you think that. Well, give me your
the biggest thing is again, we have our paint thickness gauge, right? And we're getting these new cars in. What's happening is the thickness of the paint of what's coming in is so thin, and they're getting swirled up and scratched up, and the quality is so poor right now that are you gonna go take off the little bit of clear coat that they have with a serious, and I'm talking like a serious correction. on the business perspective side, it's like, okay, hey, I can maintain and help keep your car looking good with a polish, right? You got the
with an
dual action, you got the roof,
enhancement
and
style
the enhancement
detail.
style play. That's where my mindset is. I don't know if it's right. I can't go and say a 2022 Tesla that just walks in, it's black, right? So you're like, crap, we gotta do a little bit of cutting here. And how much clear coat do I have to play with?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just, I'm seeing it more and more. I think it's gonna get worse and worse, and that's sort of the trend that I'm feeling. But yeah, love your point of view on it.
I think it's probably not trending out as fast as it needs to.
Okay.
So I think that
you want to send it to the dumpster now.
Well, no. I think that there's a market for paint correction, and I think your repaints, your custom paints, these are all applicable for heavy paint correction. You got thick clear coats by custom paint jobs. I mean, they're the ones you sand, they're the ones you
around that. If you're a new detailer jumping into it,
you're not getting those jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you prepared to do that job?
Yeah. Are you prepared? Are you trained? And if you're not doing paint corrections every day, right? Yeah. It's a skill, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can get back on the bike, but you're not there cutting these cars the way we used to, at least.
Well, okay, we're all in this for business. Is it profitable? Is it profitable to do these 2 and 3 step paint corrections on
a 12-hour polish there?
No, I don't think it is.
First Uno, what was it? The one you recommended for me?
What's up, dude? That's life-changing. Uno. Rupes Uno Protect. Yeah.
Let's give him a shout out there.
Yes. Oh, shout out, man. Yeah. I tell you, Jason Rose came and done a training a few years ago, right when that product came out, and he's like, dude, you need to check this out. It literally changed.
Was it perfect when it came out? Because I tried it. I knew about it right when it came out. It wasn't perfect.
No, what? They've done a lot of updating to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, I just think knowing that industry. Go ahead.
Oh, they got a new. Chris was just told me they have another one, an upgraded version of that. That's SiO2 infused. Yeah. So you have some of the ceramic qualities. Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think, again, thinking about where the business is going and trying to think of it from a detailer perspective. Yeah. If you're there and you're buying a bunch of cutting compounds and cutting pads, are trying to take a look at the external environment of the business and say, hey, is this worth my time?
Taping it off. I mean, there's a lot, you go into a rotary, if you're sanding, there's a lot of hidden cost there. Your time that I can guarantee you the mom in the minivan isn't paying to have her car paint corrected. She doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. Nor do they have the clear coat or the paint for you to be working on in that manner. And at what point are you doing them a disservice? Yeah. Okay. At what point are you doing them a disservice? And what point does these vehicles that we're paint correcting start to come back in a few years and the paint and the clear coat's failing on them because we've done, sanded out all the good stuff in there.
Yeah. the clear coat, you're down to primer.
Yeah. And so there's the reality of it. So here's my thoughts on that. I don't think it's trending down like it needs to. I'm not saying we put it on the chopping block. I think it's niche. In an already niche market, right? It's a small portion of what detailing should offer, but it should be reserved for the shops that know how to handle that and that are set up for it, the customers that are willing to pay for it, and then the jobs that have enough clear coat to do it. Or single stage paint, enough paint, regardless if it's clear coat or color, to do the heavy correction. Now we're not talking, your 1 steps, whatever. Those are fine.
Even the 2-step, you're really, if you're going with a dual action, you're really not cutting.
If you got to break out the rotary, or if you're breaking out the 1000s, 2000s, or 500s, dude, you are taking off material that's probably not even there. So I like it, man. I like the trending out. Okay.
What do you got?
I see a trend of product hopping.
Okay. Explain.
And so probably I'm on the other end of this. I probably should hop a little bit in that. I'm very guilty of, if it's not broke, don't fix it here in my shop, to the point where I feel like we probably should be bringing in some other products. But I think the trend is always have the newest, greatest, the newest thing that's out there. I'm the detailer. I've tried it all. If I can give you a recommendation on 15 different tire shines, that means I bought 15 different tire shines, and there's 14 of them that I'm not using that's sitting on my shelf. How much money is that? Again, I'm guilty of the opposite. I mean, we bring in some products, we test some products. but I have 12 detailers down here that anytime I
go
try to,
through,
if I make a change, to guess what, we're training, we're training on the new product. So we're in our, we're probably not the best one to ask about that, but I do think that it's trending as and product hopping. How do you feel about that?
So the product hopping, I think, is as there's more products on the market, right? People are seeing different things that they want to try, right? So if you're a detailer, you're with a certain tire shine, right? And you see this new one come out, and you know what? You enjoy what you do, you love what you do, you want to try it. You know what I mean? When you start scaling and you start getting a little bit bigger, it does become more. I do for that, but I think it's important to still try these new different products and offer them in a way that's only a positive for your business as a whole. So what we do is whenever we do an order for 100 pads or whatever it is, right? We just got to do a bulk order. I've done Clean Garage the last couple of times. Awesome guys over there. They've got mystery boxes, right? I don't even care what the new products are. I just get a mystery bucket, mystery box, throw me some cool new stuff that I haven't seen before. And then we spend the next couple of weeks just testing it out. But how do I test it? If I have like a shampoo come in, right? And I usually don't, UV protect all the plastics. And that was what is in the box. Well, guess what? They're getting a free UV plastic.
Absolutely.
And we're going to test it out, like it, and ask for their feedback.
And do it on a customer. Do it for a customer that you are going to see back. Don't do it on your first timer. Like you want to do it on somebody that you know that you're probably.
Sometimes you do that extra favor for a first time customer. Oh yeah, that's going to bring them
that win brings them back. Yeah.
So again, that's sort of how we do our hopping, but it's probably not the best.
No, I think that eliminating variables. So if we're talking about testing products, don't order 10 new ones and try to test 10 new ones at the same time. Minimize that. If you're going to truly test the change, you're going to make a change, or you're thinking about making a change, bring in a couple, focus it, actually put it to the test. Don't just use it because the bottle says it works great, really put it to the test and see if it's something, and then see if it's profitable.
Yeah.
Look at the cost of it. How much does it cost you to do this on this car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you buy it in bulk?
Yeah, absolutely. We're not buying a product unless we can buy it in bulk.
You're not buying the little bottles already ready for the spray bottle.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
But listen, and guys, don't beat me up on this. Like I said, I understand. We do this as a prideful thing. Yeah, you're all idiots if you're doing it. No, just kidding. No, seriously. I mean, I get it. I like the new shiny objects too, but don't make it. Don't make it cost your company. Do it when it makes sense. I like Nick's approach to the mystery box. It's a cool idea. Yeah. And that makes it fun. But
you let all the guys go and put it on their cars, try it out. Hey, we got a new tire shine. Try it out. See what
Yeah,
and they're going to tell you if it works.
Absolutely. How can you build consistency if you're constantly changing products, though? You need to really think about that. How can I have consistent results if I'm always introducing new variables?
Yep. So try and have it some sort of you got a process to it. Once a quarter, once a month of something new, just to try it out, keep it fresh. You'll definitely see the results there. A trend that I sort of see that I think is kind of just black and white is the movement from wax to ceramic.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And I've actually just had nothing but training on this week with pretty much everybody at the shop. Right now we're running a special, $20 off. It's an Expel Boost. It's an Expel product.
Yeah.
It has SiO2 in it.
I like your thoughts on this.
Yeah. And telling them again, it's a bridge product. You know what I mean? The pricing is very similar, but the results, it's just such a superior product on your car versus the wax.
It's giving them the experience of ceramic coating without the cost of ceramic coating.
Exactly.
You're taking the customer and saying, hey, we're not going to do wax. I want you to experience what ceramic coating would do for the cost, basically, of what wax would cost.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. And for us, we see it being more of it's always about the long-term play. You're going to bring these people in. They're going to try it out. You already know that's superior to wax.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, they're going to do one or two things. They're just going to do that every time. Or they're going to decide, hey, maybe I want to do a coating. Maybe I want to do a 4-year coating on my car.
Yep.
And for our business model, we get a lot of, we're seeing 200 people a day. Looking for a car wash, right?
Yep.
It's an easy conversation to have. We're not pushing the sale. We're saying, oh, hey, it's $20 for a wash.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we've got this really cool product in this month. If you've got questions on it, it's $20 off. I'll run you through it and just leave it open-ended. And you'd be shocked of how many people they've hear ceramic, but they don't know what it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And there's a reason they don't just put, SiO2 coat,
Absolutely.
coating, right? They put ceramic. It's the buzzword. It's trending.
It's the buzzword. It's trend. That's right. That's
Yep.
right. I mean, and that's what ties it back in. So trending is absolutely ceramic coating. Even though we've been doing ceramic coatings now for 8 years, 9 years. Okay, we've had them, but right now, like golden era of detailing, trending is absolutely ceramic coatings.
Yep.
Good and bad. Sometimes I think that years ago we were overstating claims on what ceramic coatings would do. I think we had to fight through that. I think, and so now we are in the world where people or detailers need to know that they got to educate the customer on how to maintain them, what to expect from them, what do they do, what do they not do.
Yep.
But trending up, absolutely ceramic coatings. Piggybacking that, trending right now is PPF. Yes, paint protection film's been out for a long time. I think improvements in the product have allowed for us to go in and sell it more.
Yeah.
I know your shop offers it. My shop doesn't. And it only because of staffing issue. Like if I had the staff to just add it right now, I would do it. I think that it's a great product. So I think PPF trending right now, and I think it's here to stay.
The PPF side, I think, is really interesting because I've talked with a couple other detail shops in the area, and like you said, again, having the training and investing in the staff is a really big, barrier of entry for anybody.
Absolutely.
But if you're already detailing and you try PPF, go to a training, go to an Expel or a Stack or whatever one you want to go to, and try it. For me, I enjoy doing it. You're right. We've got 2-3 people that are certified, but I enjoy doing it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So when the business runs and everything's good, it's something that makes financial sense. That what, Nick, I always like a new Rubik's Cube. I want to learn something new.
Yep.
And right now, PPF is sort of that fun. Every bumper that you do is like a Rubik's Cube. Every single one, it's a different map that you got to make sure you get this on there. Yep. And it's a different little puzzle that's 2 hours of your day. But it's really, really
huge learning curve. Yeah, huge learning curve for it. Absolutely. Think that it's trending. I think that as it's a service that we can provide, and that's truly protecting. You mentioned the thin paint. I mean, you're not going to get any better protection on thin paint than adding something on top of it that helps, prolong the life of it.
I think it's going to come down to the customer because what is their expectation when they're buying a new car? Do they really care? And I think the answer is yes right now. And I want to see where that trend goes, because right now I think we get a lot of people that buy a new car and they're like, look, I just want it to stay looking new. Okay. Here are your options. This is what you can do. And then they're going to say, okay, well, hey, I got a front end of a Tesla that's concave in, that's a rock magnet, right? You should probably PPF it because
absolutely
you'll get a road trip probably driving here. So it just depends on what the consumer wants. And that after care after a car purchase, that's sort of what I know you do, what I try and do. And I think what most detailers are trying to do is provide that value and that service for the customer.
Let me tell you what's trending out in my shop.
What?
In my shop specifically, I don't know if it's trending out anywhere else. Let me tell you what's trending out very quickly is PPF removal.
Oh God.
And pontoon polishing. Those two things are trending out.
Yeah. The PPF removal thing, again, it's going to be a hefty price to pay, because it runs risk too. You know what I mean? It runs. There's always risk with removing anything off of paint.
I'm glad you brought up risk. Yeah, man, we had a motorhome. We did a whole motorhome front. It took us 4 days, right?
Yeah.
And paint peeled and paint bubbled.
Yeah.
And we warned the customer, and they still acted like donkeys when they picked it up for a second. Until I told them that everything, the conversations we had were under camera, and we definitely, told them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I do kind of remember you mentioning that." Like, we knew that this PPF was on there, and it was on there to stay. Yeah, you start to take it off, it's inevitably going to peel some paint. It's inevitably going to bulk some paint, and so, needless to say, we made a great relationship out of that. They understood how we handled things, but here's the thing. It's you can't charge enough for it. Like you don't know how long. I mean, we charged by the hour and still hated life doing it. Yeah,
it's not fun. That's not a fun trend.
Pontoon polishing, same way. It's always terrible. It's a nasty job. Like,
I'm glad. We used to get a lot more trailers. Those metal trailers.
Oh yes, God.
Yeah. They're not around here as much anymore for whatever reason, and we're good with that. Any
that's
type of metal polishing. Yeah, I'm good. It's okay.
it's a trend that we're glad is leaving.
That's where you find, the guy, the new detailer down. You need a little. This is a great way to learn, man. You should give them a good referral, and they can, make a good connection there with a customer.
I'll have one more trend that we'll mention, and then we'll probably drop it into some comments.
Yeah.
This is something that I think is going to trend, but I don't think any of us truly know what the hell to do with it.
Okay.
AI. I don't what do we do? What are we supposed to do with this?
You know what's interesting? Because AI is such a broad trend, right? I think that just everybody, every business is sort of like, hey, what's the most efficient way to use it?
Yeah.
And I think that I don't have an answer
yet to be determined.
It's yet to be determined.
I think it can have some impact in marketing. I think it can have an impact in schedule management. I think that it can have impact in pricing.
Yeah.
But we don't know what we have yet. And I don't. I mean, there may be I'm sure there's somebody out there that's going, Dustin, you're an idiot. This is how we use it, and this is what it's used for.
Please
I don't have
a comments. Yeah, just let us
know. For you that are smarter than us, drop it in there. I know there's a lot of you guys. Andres. All right, I'm using AI for a lot and extremely helpful. See, there we go.
There you go, Andres. Let us know.
Man. How? What are you doing with it?
So one thing that I did AI quite a bit for, with the Chat GPT, and it was going all crazy, is the blog, the written word.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, yeah.
But the one thing that's interesting about that is on your website, if you're doing it for blog and written word, Google's able to tell
Google knows
what's AI written better and better, and it's only going to get better, right? So you're going to almost be maybe kicking yourself in the butt later.
And it sounds written by AI. Funny, I typed a text to Mike Carlin this morning.
Yeah.
And I have the AI translator on my phone. And I said, rewrite this in whatever, I don't even know what kind of, I'm drawing a blank. The tone that it's written in. And it writes this, I'm like, hey, buddy, just finished a run, getting ready for my ride tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. It writes this whole paragraph of this text, hello, pal. So I just
and you know what? That's just going to hurt Mike's feeling. He wanted a real written, well thought out response from you, Dustin. And he got your bot.
I don't think he knew it. I think he was like, man, what a great message you sent me there, Dustin. What do you have, a double dose of Celsius this morning?
Yeah. The one place where AI was really helpful for us is we did have a helpful bot on our website where they could type in and have auto-generated answers based on the response, which was pretty interesting and fun but where I saw the issue with that is it still had customer hitting roadblocks. Absolutely. It wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? So then I was like, listen, I'd rather you talk to a person directly that knows every weird question you're going to ask, because it's just a lot of programming.
So here's the way I feel about it. It's a tool that makes us better. It doesn't replace us. So there's no replacement for human, but there's only tools that improve us. And when we buy things and we use things, that's the whole goal. We went from hand polishing to machine polishing because it's a tool that makes us better.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was a time back in the day where people disagreed with that and they think I can polish one better by hand. But I think it's a tool that makes us better. I think we got some comments to talk about. Okay, Andres, I use it for a lot of posting on Facebook. I have noticed to get a lot more hits with post generation through AI. There you go.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. And I think the marketing side of it is going to get really advanced.
Oh, I think so too. And that's the part none of us want to do anyway, really. Or I shouldn't say any of us. Most of us don't want to do, including myself. What other comments you got there? Hang on. He's writing something on the board. This is going to be real.
Is this a big whiteboard here?
This is. Yeah. What you got, Chris? I know you got something working on. Process more important than changing products. What does that say? Ethan? What did he say? Something? Huh? Oh, then got it. Working on process more important than yeah, absolutely. No, you perfect the process and then you add products, as needed, right? You know, and then and by the way, the product should make the process easier. It should never make it harder. It should always make it easier. Keep rolling. Anything else? Anything good? There's a lot of comments today, by the way. I see it on the screen over here. You guys are tuning in. They missed us for a couple of weeks.
We leave for just a second.
Yeah. See there? Distance make the heart grow fonder. We knew y'all loved us.
Yeah, we missed you guys too.
We did. Seriously. All right, Chris, you got one more. Find us a good one. He's looking. This is a good show. You know, when we originally talked about it, Nick, I think like me and you both, network is very important. I have people who charges your batteries is important. Absolutely. Yeah. Who you surround yourself with and the energy that they bring has a huge impact. Hey, I'll take a second and talk about something real quick, Nick, if you just have 1 minute. Yeah. Look, man. Okay, so like for pure transparency, I had a couple weeks, man, where I was beat down. Okay, and I felt like everything I did, nothing was working. And it's probably longer than that. It's probably a month or so where just like, man, everything's going the wrong way.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about that, the more I felt, the more discouraged I felt, the more discouraging things were happening. Like the more it's like a snowball that was building, and it is freaking real. And so the other day I started a book called Tiny Habits, and it's excellent, by the way. If you guys are looking for a book to read, Tiny Habits is a good one. I don't know the author, but anyways, it's amazing what your mindset will do to your reality. And I think that, and not just say, okay, well, I'm just thinking about things positive. It's truly you got to believe it, you know, and you got to find those things. But when you start dwelling on shit and that shit starts compounding, dude, it gets hard. It gets real hard. And you got to do this stuff anyway. So you might as well not dwell and make it easy. And discouragement always, it's like a cancer, and it goes all around. And so, guys, if you're feeling that way, trust me in that. I was there for like a month or better, and feeling just like nothing we had was going right. So we're back out of that now. We had an excellent week, had a great week, and a lot of it is mindset. So,
and you're going to use that just to keep compounding and going the opposite way now.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, man. So, anyways, great show. Like I was saying, I don't feel like we thought that we weren't completely bought into trends, were we?
No. I think as we started talking pre-show, we're like, what are some cool things that are just in the, in the space, and we just sort of jumped into it, and I had a good time. I hope you had a good time.
Too. I think it was a great show, man. Appreciate all of
these weeks. We got to make sure we're on top of it.
Absolutely.
We got to give the people what they want, right?
We're going to bring you some heat next week for sure. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be some heat for sure.
Something good. Okay. Yeah. I appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Nick. We're going to have a great rest of the weekend, guys. Any of you that are struggling right now, chin up, man. We got this. We'll work together, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Peace out.